Welcome, Sugarloafers. I was trying to figure out how many years we've done this presentation, and I think we're close to 29. I think Warren started it somewhere in the middle 80s. Does anyone remember? Does anyone want to remember? Anyway, I think we've got a good story for you this morning. Several presenters. We'll try to keep it to an hour with some Q&A at the end of it. And so we'll get started. First of all, the first part of the presentation is basically marketing and sales. Ethan Austin put this together for us, but he can't be here today. He and his lovely wife had a baby a couple of days ago, so they are home, and he's helping her with a baby. So in his stead this morning is Leah Stevens, who's our head of sales, and she'll be taking you through the first part. Leah?
So hi everyone, my name is Leah Stevens. I'm the Director of Sales here at Sugarloaf, and I've been a Sugarloafer for 26 years. But before I start talking about the winter results from last winter, I have a video that I want to show you. It's a surprise to you. John has announced that he's retiring this spring after this winter season. Our staff has put together a video to show our appreciation of all your years of service. Yes, you're going to get a kick out of it. So, I would like you to please just enjoy our video that we have put together.
I knew I wasn't going to get away with it.
I think basically the philosophy is that we, as a major skier, I don't want to provide good skiing for our ski public every day of the year.
Watching the sun bathe, all of those children covered in oils, strumming my sixth string on my front porch swing.
You know, I was probably a little intimidated because he seems like he's pretty serious, and I didn't, quite know what to make of him. But as I learned that that's more like a mannerism thing, and he really likes to kind of tease and give jabs, and I give him back.
John has a passion for the mountain, and he was always up on the hill with his pickup, and we were always going up and pulling him up.
Well, sometimes we've been trying to get trails open early in the season, and John's helped groom and gotten stuck.
He doesn't like working in his office. He'd rather be out and about the resort.
The culture with John is unique, and you don't find people like that around very often. John was really good to work for. A lot of fun.
And one of the coolest things I ever saw him do was he shot a bird that was coming at him, and he caught it. So John, I know as soon as you get out of this meeting, you're going to go burn him. So just go for it. Enjoy it.
Congratulations, and don't worry for a second about what you're going to do in retirement. You'll find that time goes fast, and you'll wonder, how did I have time to work?
When he's built a few houses here, I know he specifically positions his house in his room so that he can lay in bed at night and look up at the groomers on the hill.
Sugarloaf's in his heart. It's pretty obvious, I think, when you see him work around here and see how he cares and the whole field. It's just great. We're going to miss him, for sure.
John's always got your back. He's there for you. He knows his employees, which makes you feel really good. He knows who's working for him. So he'll be missed.
Hey, what better place to film this but on a windy day at the hotel hot tub that we finally got built on. Some of the funner things that I've learned from you is that you're a great multitasker and you can untangle a fishing line and smoke a cigar at the same time. And also you really know how to hail down a limousine in Boston. But in all seriousness, you've been a great leader here, John, and we thank you so much. And whoever steps into your shoes has a really big role to fill. So have fun in Margaritaville.
For the record book, for the history book, for the scrapbook, the one thing I want to thank John Diller the most for is the book. The revitalization of Moose Alley is tremendous, and that's John Diller's work. Thank you. People think that he is kind of quiet and subdued, but there are times where he gets really fired up, and I always enjoy when he gets fired up. He's very loyal. He'll do anything for you. He stands behind you, and you always feel like he's got your back. And I'm going to miss that. So thanks for everything, John, and hope you enjoy retirement.
John, it's been real. Pleasure's been all yours. I just wish you the best in what you're going to do, and if you need more tips on salmon fishing, just let me know.
Congratulations on retiring, John. I think you're going to get bored in Florida, and we'll see you up here.
Well, I certainly wish John, nothing but a lot of fun times ahead in his retirement, and hope he doesn't forget us and will come back and visit us here.
So all the best to you. We'll miss you.
John, we put this video together on a little bit of short notice, so obviously we couldn't talk to everybody who's been involved with you and Sugarloaf over the years, but on behalf of everybody at Sugarloaf and in the community, thank you for all you've done, and we'll miss you.
This is all Alex.
Just say one quick thing. My first year was 1970 here when I started in the ski school, and there's someone else right here in the audience that started, I think, that same year too, and that's Nat Terry, and she's still working in the ski school. Nat, right here.
That makes you our longest employed people, right? Both of you? We get really special gold pins. Okay, now to bring it back to what our agenda actually was. It's time to talk about last winter. That picture actually is from Reggae Weekend in April this year. This is like our high note of the season. We had one of our largest crowds ever for reggae, and it's been 25 years of reggae excitement going on. So, last fall, when we started promoting the winter season, our indicators were really strong that we were going to have an excellent year. Our season's pass sales were up. We introduced a new Kids Ski Free program within our lodging department. That's with anyone who stayed in our condominiums would get free tickets for anyone 12 and under. That was a new program for the whole East Coast. Sugarloaf offered that. We introduced over 800 new families to our resort that hadn't ever been here before. That's about 1,500 kids came through the program. Notes to keep things. The Downhill Supply Company also recorded some of the best sales. The new revisioning of that store last year, and throughout the whole winter they sold more skis and hard good equipment than previously. And we all know that January was very difficult. We had lack of snow, we had limited terrain, we were feeling the crunch on that time frame, but March and April came along and were awesome. We ended our winter season with revenues about 1.5% above the year before. So we were very proud of how that end of the season came along. Summer results. So our summer is pretty much based upon golf business and conference business. Our golf course, look back. Yeah. Our golf course has been having a rebirth. In the last few years, we had a new irrigation system last year, and this year has been about course conditions. Larry Warren wrote a great letter to John Diller, and I'd like to read his quote to you about the golf course. There have been many people involved with the Sugarloaf Golf Club over the years, and we feel that the current golf course maintenance crew and staff is the best that has ever been at Sugarloaf. The course is in the best condition ever. So that is an excellent recommendation from people who have been playing this course all along. For our sales and marketing team, what we needed to do was get that word out there that our course was in great condition and make people believe us. We opened late. Golf rounds in June and July were down. In August, it started to turn around. We had some dynamic pricing. We changed our golf pricing for the course. And by the time August came around, in September, we were back to having our rounds ahead and our revenues up. The Outpost brought more summer people in. It was open 7 days a week, offering segways and zipline tours. And the scenic lift rides were ever popular once again. So everything for the summer has been maintaining. In August, we hosted the American Junior Golf Association Championships. This is the All-Stars and the Junior Championships. This is like the premier golf thing of us hosting the U.S. Junior Nationals in the wintertime. It's our second year. We have a 4-year commitment, and this past summer in August, we had 140 junior golfers play. They came from 16 different states as well as 5 other countries. Our revenues were up, so we're looking forward to hosting that event again next year, and always looking for volunteers. So our marketing and sales team, what are we doing to get the word out for our Sugarloafers? We're taking it back to some of our core look and feel of what we used to have. We're bringing back our brand visually. We're putting our blue and our orange back into our printed campaigns. We're showcasing the mountain so that people know what Sugarloaf is. We are letting storytelling tell our stories. We're letting our Sugarloafers talk about why Sugarloaf is special. So we're continuing that online and with video with our True Blue campaigns, with the unique photography of our Sugarloaf characters. And in our print ads, we're letting people's words speak for themselves to capture and draw in more new Sugarloafers. We're still going to continue with our Kids Ski Free program. Had great success last year. We really feel that introducing new kids to Sugarloaf, and they learn how to ski here and their families come here, they become loyal Sugarloafers for the rest of their lives. So we want them to all grow and experience and stay here for 30 some odd years as well. The Downhill Supply Company, we've taken it to the next level by putting online sales. We're going to be selling logo gear, equipment, right on our website. We're excited to announce that we're going to be holding the U.S. Alpine Championships. The logo has not been approved by the USSA Ski Association yet, so it's in the works. That's going to be March 25th through the 30th. We'll be hosting that event. But we also have the NORAMs coming, which is the week before, and that is when the downhill competition is going to be. So our competition center is going to be very busy. So the crew and the sales and marketing teams out there generating excitement. September, we made snow. What it did is it generated the biggest social media wave that we've had. It outdid all of our previous year's performances. We had 1.6 million Facebook hits. Ethan talked to CBS News, the Weather Channel. There was a lot of national coverage. We beat it. We outdid Sunday River on that piece. I think that speaks to Ethan as a marketing director, that he's done an excellent job with getting the word out there. As you can see on this graph, this is the social media, the website graph for a number of seasons. It spikes at September Day, and that even includes all the media pieces we got in December when the spillway incident happened. But the orange is what we pay for. So one day of turning on the snow guns just increased that piece and got everyone excited to be talking about skiing, which we felt in the momentum right now. Our season's passes are pacing ahead. Our lodging reservations are about the same as last year. Just all the indicators are really good. So that is what my team is doing in the sales and marketing world. And now I'm going to turn it over to John and to Crusher to talk about capital improvements.
Thank you, Leah. Yeah, this snowmaking thing, just so you know, it was sort of a last-minute thing. We heard that Sunday River was probably going to make snow that night. So we called Danny. He says, no problem. He got one or two of his guys together. They got up there at midnight, cranked up a pump and a compressor, and away we went. Unbelievable. We probably spent less than $1,000 for the whole thing, and look what we get out of it. All right, capital projects.
Okay, this is last year's capital projects. Some of our more successful ones, Burnt Mountain. Everybody been up there? Oh, come on. This year, snowmaking. You know, we got a lot more guns last year, HKD guns. And you could see our usage was up, our consumption was down, but our price was way up.
Yeah, we were at times we were paying over 50 cents a kilowatt. But huge savings in the use of these guns. Unbelievable. I mean, we would have spent another $500,000 last year if we had had the old system. So huge difference for us. I think we've invested a couple $1 million now in these new guns, and we've got another 80 coming in this year.
Yep.
Hot tub. If anyone wants to see some great videos, they can go over and see Dana in her office, because we got some nighttime videos. They're pretty interesting. No, but seriously, hats off to all the owners in the hotel. What they've done in the last 5 years, over $600,000 worth of improvements in just the rooms themselves, totally revamped. The hot tub, 200 and something thousand on the hot tub. And this summer we reworked the lobby. Huge. You know, really, Stephen and his wife were here a couple of weeks ago and basically said, you know, you got the best hotel in our 12 ski areas. So that was pretty special. Moose Alley, I think Marcia mentioned that before. We've added some more to it, and we're going to add some more. And this is big. This is the new winter stagger. This machine is all computerized, all robotic. It essentially can put any kind of ski through it and really come out with a World Cup or U.S. ski team quality tuning. It's going to be unbelievable. CVA has really bought into it, and they've been down there. Matter of fact, I think some of their Alpine team have just headed to Europe with all new racing skis and all new tunes from this machine. It's going to be a huge improvement. I think it's only one of, say, two maybe in all of the Northeast.
Okay, snowmaking. Where'd that 6,000 feet of new snowmaking pipe go? Well, we ran a line up Slasher from the landing, and it comes up to Whiffletree. So now we can run the Whiffletree trail full capacity. We can run every single gun on it when we get over there and make snow. We've been struggling over there for years, you know, being able to run 15, maybe 18 guns. Well, now we can run everything. So you'll see a lot quicker movement over there and a lot better coverage. And it also gives us the ability to make snow on Slasher, which makes a big difference. Popular crosscut. And then on Tote Road, we made a new connection to Lower Tote Road from the valve box on Tote Crosscut. They were, the old double bitter comes out. So we'll have full capacity and full pressure on Chicken Pitch, which we've always struggled with there. And we'll feed the lower part of Tote Road, so we're going to have top to bottom snowmaking at one time on Tote Road as well. So we're all pretty excited about that. Actually, this number's wrong. We got 60 new low energy guns. We got 30 towers, which you've seen the towers go up the last few years. And then we bought 24 on sleds. They're a 13-foot gun on a sled. And you'll see those getting moved around the mountain. We have enough sleds now that we can stay a trail ahead. So hopefully they don't tip over underneath the Skyline chair while you're riding it. Bracket Basin, Burnt Mountains, been a big success. We got a crew over there last month, and we're going to run till we can't run in snow anymore over there. We're doing some more cutting, expanding some existing glades, and we've cleaned up some existing glades too with the immigrant bush saw crew that comes in with 30 guys, and just it's like a cartoon.
Big legal?
They're contracts, so I don't care.
Oh.
They have come once. Border Patrol came once. I think I've hired this crew for 20 years. And they came once and hauled a guy off. And it turned out he was legal, but Roddy Erlenbach went over to Rangeley to pick him up at the holding facility there. And he bought him a t-shirt that said, I went to Sugarloaf and all I did was go to jail in Rangeley, Maine. But that's the only incident we've ever had. Grooming, we purchased a brand new winch cat. If you remember, we bought a new winch 2 years ago, and our old winch was getting tired. It had about 15,000 hours on it, so we're refreshing the fleet every year, trying to keep it a little younger. We do have a 10,000 hour fleet, about half the fleet's close to 10,000 hours. That's kind of our new mark when we trade them. And I've got just a reliable fleet. I think more so, I've had new snowcats break down, and I've got such a talent over there in that garage between Pete Jensen and Claude Pepin and Dan that we have an incredible fleet, and we're going to keep her running.
Yeah, I would add that you see the BR 350 where it says 350. That's basically significant of what these things cost now. Actually, it's more than 350,
It's
right?
375.
Yeah. Who said skiing was expensive? I mentioned the lobby do-over. You can't see it in this picture, but they've got a new fireplace, a gas fireplace over to the left side, which is really going to make this really cozy and nice. All right, now I'm going to talk about the village upgrades. If you've been up there already, you've seen we basically painted Village West and really tried to rebrand it, and we're continuing to do some more through the village for the next month or so. The big nut here, though, and I really want to try to spend a couple of minutes on this and do as good a job as I can explaining what's going on here. Crusher, if you'd go over there and point to the new loop. This is the new loop. Here's the bottom of the hotel. The whole idea here, for years, we've been struggling with trying to get the shuttles, now of which we have, on a weekend, we probably have 24 of them. We've been trying to get them, figuring out a way to get them out of Main Street so that we can really have a real pedestrian Main Street. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to create a circular drive right here. Again, you come in below the hotel. This is all going to be new. We're going to start this project next week. And the buses are going to come in. They're going to go up here and unload and load right here. Here's the back of the hotel. Right here somewhere, we're going to have a warming hut for folks that are waiting for the buses. The whole idea is to get all the traffic out of Main Street, all the smell, all the noise, and we're going to ask all our vendors to participate so that, in other words, the beer trucks and so on and so forth, they're going to try to get here before 8 o'clock in the morning or after 5 at night. So really to have a totally clean pedestrian. But I need your help. I really need your support. This is a new thing. The other piece we are going to do, and I think it's going to work out okay, is over here, here's Village West, and this area here now will not be just parking for security and so forth. It's going to be a 5-minute park. You can drive your car in there, unload, and then obviously you got to get out and park. But what you're not going to have anymore is you're not going to have that ability to choose if you're in one of the shuttles. Okay, I want to get off at the Super Quad, or I want to get off down by the ticket. We can't do that, obviously, make everything work. So there's going to be a little more walking for us, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a real win-win because we're finally going to have a real Main Street. It's going to be much safer for the kids. So please help support us, and please explain it to everyone that's not here why we're doing all this. I think that's pretty much it on that one. There's kind of the concept of the bus shelter. And here's some ideas. Dave Pooley has helped us with this over the last couple of weeks. Just some ideas as to what we could be doing with the Main Street as we move forward. We've got some trees here, as you can see, just between the Super Quad and Village West. And obviously, there's going to be some kind of a gate system so that we can close that off entirely. He's got a bullet detail there that may work. And we're going to put a new facade on the Sugarloaf shop so that it really looks like an inviting place to come in and shop from the Super Quad side. And next, I'm going to ask Sam Punderson to come up. Sam joined us, our real estate firm late this summer. Sam had a lot of experience in the real estate world way back in his younger days with his family, and his main thrust right now is to really get the marketing going in our real estate, and we've had a great last 6 weeks. Sam?
Thanks, John. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know me, I am married to Kate Weber. If I'd known when we were getting married that I was going to move to Sugarloaf, I would have changed my last name. It would have been much more simple. Especially if I knew that I was going to get into real estate eventually up here. So, as John said, this is my second time in real estate, and I practiced in Vermont. Unbelievably, 20 years ago was the first time I got into it. And one of the reasons that that John and I decided it would be a good fit for me to come and work for Mountainside is because I've got a passion for marketing, and I think that over the years the folks at Mountainside have done an incredible job at selling real estate here in the Valley. I mean, they have dominated the market. They've done a really bad job of letting people know how much they do. Do we have a slide here? Yeah. So some of the things that we'll be doing here in over the course of the winter is we'll have some. There we go. We'll have some new signage at the bottom of Skyline lifts that highlights Mountainside's presence here on the mountain. If you come and look at our office right now, you'll see that there's a new display in our windows, which hopefully will garner some attention and get people to understand where we are located in the base. There's been a couple of amazing things as I've come into this and spoken with a lot of people. There's a huge number of people who really don't even know where the office is located, even though they walk by it a million times. We are sort of tucked away, so we've increased our visual presence there. We'll be having a little more presence at the outdoor center as well as at the golf course. We'll be doing some new flat screen displays at Bullwinkle's and also in the base lodge, etc. So there's some good stuff going on, and we're trying to just increase the recognition of Mountainside. As you can see, Mountainside really has done the bulk of the real estate transactions by far in the valley here, and not to Kate yet. Go on. Again, there are a lot of people who think that Mountainside doesn't sell off mountain. That's not the case. We practice real estate from Kingfield to Stratton primarily, and we cover all the properties there. And as this graph shows, since January 1st of 2012, we have done 195 sides of the transactions, and our closest competitor has done 35. So, what I'd like to sort of wrap up here with is, as loyal Sugarloafers, I have a little bit of a value proposition for you. Mountainside is Sugarloaf's official real estate agency, and that's something else that so many people don't know. Many people think that Mountainside is not owned by the mountain. By using Mountainside real estate, you as a loyal Sugarloafer, if we sell your house or if we help you buy a house, the transaction will put money into Sugarloaf's pocket, and then that will hopefully come back to you, and Sugarloaf taking that money and putting it into improvements on the mountain. So if you're considering doing any real estate, or if you know somebody who is, please come give us a call. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam. And keeping it in the family, Kate Weber. Kate Weber-Punderson.
Hi everybody, I'm Kate Weber-Punderson. I've just started my 4th year as head of school at Carabassa Valley Academy. For the new Sugarloafers in the room, CVA is a private, independent middle and high school right down at the base of the access road. Our mission is a combination of college prep academics, world-class training in skiing and snowboarding, and responsible community living. Our typical student is one that is very passionate about skiing and snowboarding, who wants to work really hard academically and also be a good citizen. The outlook for this year is very bright. Do you remember the slides being in there? That's okay. That's okay.
Might have to wing it.
That's why I don't know. Exactly. So the outlook for this year is great. Continues to be an exciting time at CVA. Our fall term has gone really well. I'm very excited by the quality of the student body. A few facts for you. The enrollment this year is up 11% over last year. The numbers will solidify as November arrives and our winter term students arrive, but it looks like we're going to be around 103 students, so I'm really encouraged by enrollment. 2/3 of those students are male, 1/3 are female. 2/3 are rooming in our dormitories, and the rest are day students. Our largest program is Alpine, so about half of our students, about 50, are chasing the gates. After that, snowboarding comes in at around 25 students, then freestyle at about 20, and our non-competitive program, Alps, has about 7 students this year. This year, over 45% of our students receive some type of financial aid, so we have a very diverse student body. 60% of our students this year are from Maine. All the other New England states are represented, plus New York, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Arizona, Washington, California, and Missouri. 1/10 of our students are from outside the US. This year we have students from Ireland, England, Spain, Malaysia, Japan, and Canada. The class of 2014 last year graduated with strong college placement. 96% of our students were accepted to college, and 80% of those were accepted to their first choice. So we're proud of our class of 2014. We have 50 employees this year, and we'll bring on an additional about 25 for our weekend program coaches. One exciting new development on campus this year is we've just gained a chapter of the National Honor Society. The National Honor Society recognizes top high school students for their scholarship, their leadership, and their character. And CVA just opened a chapter. We'll induct our first students this fall, so we're excited about that. A year ago at this meeting, I announced the opening of our new academic center. We had a great year in the new academic center. There's no doubt. I think I can attribute much of our enrollment success to that opening of that academic center. As far as continued new campus construction, I always get asked, what's in the Capricorn? Are you still in the Capricorn? We're still in the Capricorn. The Capricorn still has our dining hall and our administrative offices. Our plan is to, hopefully by 2020, move our entire student services operation up to the new King Cummings campus. In order to do that, we need to finish raising the money to pay off the debt on the academic center. We have about $1 million to go to pay off that debt, so that's really going to be a strong focus. We were recently given a $500,000 challenge grant towards that, so we'll be working hard to make that matching challenge. Athletically, we had a very successful year athletically as well last year. We sent 6 different athletes to the World Junior Championships in 5 different disciplines. So it really shows our diversity. We had World Junior competitors in alpine, moguls, slopestyle skiing, bordercross, and skiercross. We also had national and junior national champions, as well as alumni medaling at the X Games, of course, and the Olympics. As far as new programs athletically this year, we've had skiercross for the last couple of years, but it's really gaining momentum, so much so that this year we hired a dedicated ski cross coach full-time for the winter. So we're really excited about that new program. Another new program is, in addition to our freestyle program, This is competitive free skiing. Harkens back to John's days as a freestyle skier. Believe it or not, we've swung back, from manicured moguls and manicured jumps. Those are still important. But there's a big push now to go back to the old freestyle days of style and form in natural features. So we actually have added what we're calling free ride. And the main competitive circuit for free ride is called Ski the East. And Sugarloaf is hosting a Ski the East for the first time in March. The competition will be both for real little kids, even age 10, up to age 18, and the course is going to be over near Ripsaw. So you can look for that this March. CVA is continuing its partnership with LL Bean this year. LL Bean is our official outerwear sponsor, so you'll see lots of LL Bean out on the hill again this year, and we're really proud to be associated with that company. As far as the weekend program goes, a couple of new developments in our weekend program. We've added 7-year-olds. Before this year, you had to be 8 to join the weekend program, but we had a lot of customers ask to lower the age to 7, so we're adding 7-year-olds this year. And again, on Ski Cross, we have a full-time Ski Cross weekend program this year. Just in closing, one thing you may hear a lot about this year is a concept called My CVA, Our CVA. And this is this idea that we've been working with our students and our staff, and that we are stronger together. When you personally have a really strong CVA experience and you support your coworker or your classmate in their CVA experience, together you're stronger. This concept also goes beyond our campus to our local community. Certainly CVA wouldn't be where it is today without the support of our community. And I do think we are stronger together. So I really appreciate all the support from all the Sugarloafers. We definitely couldn't be where we are today as a school without your support. And I especially want to thank John. Since John sent his two children to CVA back in the 80s, John, you've been a tremendous supporter to the school, a real cheerleader, a real contributor, and we are truly stronger together because of you, so thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Did you say Missouri? Wow. Charlie Woodward, Hudson Trails.
Thank you, John, for giving me a couple minutes. Who has been on the trails or up to the huts? Great. So, friendly audience. What is Maine Hudson Trails? For those who don't know, we are a nonprofit focused on economic development, getting kids off the couch, engaging them in experiential learning, and conservation through recreation. We are 4 huts, 50 miles of linear trail between Carrabassett Valley and the Forks that we groom and maintain for skiing and snowshoeing. We've got another 30 miles that we use for mountain biking and snowshoeing. The huts are eco lodges. They have hot showers. We've got meals. We have lunches all winter long on weekends. And so that's what we are. How can you use us? We're right here across the valley. We've got a hut at Stratton Brook on this little, at 1,800 feet elevation between here and Bigelow. We've got one up behind Tufulio's in Carrabassett Valley. They are a great opportunity on Windhold. We've got lunch, like I said. We've got beer and wine. Just trying to keep you in the neighborhood. And so, come and use us. We've got, it's a great facility. I think you'll enjoy it. It enhances our experience here in the valley. So how can you help? We have these trails. Our membership supports these trails. And we've got, this year we're introducing a trail pass. And our trails are free to use. I mean, come on out anytime you want with your friends. But if you like the experience, you like what we add to the valley, then help us help the valley. And where this trail pass, what it does is it shows your pride and support of the organization, but it also gets you 10% off those lunches, 10% off those beers, or glasses of wine, and overnight lodging. It also gets you use of our canoes and kayaks at Flagstaff Lake and Grand Falls. So yes, this is a beautiful place in the summertime as well. So we're working on focused on trying to build this area into a vibrant four-season community. So we are selling these down at the Base Lodge. Put your name in, spin the wheel. We've got all kinds of prizes, including a flight with Lloyd over the valley. So think about us and come check us out. Thank you very much.
If you haven't been out there and experienced it, really is special. The next we have Bruce Barnles.
Thank you, John. I'm actually up here to speak about three things as normal. One, of course, is near and dear to my heart, the Sugarloaf Mountain Ski Club. I'm the current president of the Sugarloaf Mountain Ski Club. And in our audience, I think I saw the son of our first president. John, will you stand up? John Chapman's father was the first president of the Sugarloaf Mountain Ski Club in 1950. His name was Horace Chapman. The first thing I want to talk about, though, is the Sugarloaf Charity Summit, which is in its 15th year. It's an annual event that couldn't happen without the total support of Sugarloaf. And it's raised over $1.8 million. It benefits the Martha B. Weber Breast Care Center in Farmington at Franklin Hospital, and also the Maine Cancer Foundation. All of the money raised stays right here in Maine. We're hoping to break that $2 million mark this year. The date is January 24th, Saturday night. That's when the charity ball is. But there's things that happen before that. December 30th, we're going to have a snowshoe shuffle at the Outdoor Center. All the information is up on the sugarloaf.com website now under their events. So if you'd like to get involved, go to that website first, and it's got my phone number and Martha Bradley, our co-chair, phone number, so you can get involved with either be a loafer for a cure or donate an auction item for a live or silent auction. So next thing I want to say is about one of the things that the Sugarloaf Ski Club started, besides just the mountain, was the Maine Ski Hall of Fame, but more importantly, the Ski Museum of Maine. And the Ski Museum of Maine, one of our really important functions of the year, is to have the Maine Ski Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which is this year, October 24th at Lost Valley. As usual, there are Sugarloafers getting inducted. This year we have Robbie and Anna Parisian, who are both Olympians. Their sister, Julie Parisian, was also an Olympian and was inducted a few years ago. Nikki Pilavakis, who was a world champion bordercross racer and also coached here in our racing snowboard program, and Brett Folger. So those are 4 Sugarloafers that are going to get inducted out of the 8 inductees. We have some of these programs from last year, plus the list of this year's inductees up at the Ski Museum of Maine desk. So if you really want to have a good time, the deadline to sign up for that dinner is next Friday. So it's 2 weeks away. We have a desk up in the Base Lodge for the Ski Museum of Maine. Stop by. We've got some historical photos up there and lots of information that we'll hand out to you. We are hoping that you also will stop by the sports outlet to visit the museum, and while you're there, buy something in the sports outlet. They got a lot of stuff in there right now, by the way. It's packed. It's some really good deals. The other thing I want to talk to you about is the Sugarloaf Ski Club. I have copies of our fall newsletter, which Claudia Dilla has redesigned the top of it. I hope some of you noticed it. They're out in the lobby for those of you that don't get it in the mail. And in it, we try to keep things current, but also throw in a couple of historical pieces. There's some nice little stories in there that I was able to get out of some old Eastern ski bulletins that were published in the 50s. And it's amazing in the 50s decade how many stories there were about Sugarloaf. So I've got a lot of information I'll be able to put in. So if you want to pick one of these up there in the lobby. Also in the lobby, we've got these save the date cards with information about the charity summit. One of the things I'm most proud about with the ski club, one of our functions, our 4 functions that we have between historical and community and social and competition, is our community program and our scholarship program. This year we'll be handing out almost $30,000 in scholarships. Part of that money comes from the town of Carrabassett Valley, who has a partnership with us, and we administer $10,000 that the town votes in at their annual meeting. These scholarships go to kids in programs like mini covers, bubble covers, CBA weekend program, and we also have a program which is really a great one that we started a few years ago in memory of Norton Lewis. And this program helps scholarship kids to the SAD 58 ski skate program, which is a very low cost program for elementary school kids. I think it's $5 a week. The mountain provides them with instruction, ski rentals, snowboard rentals, and a hot chocolate and a cookie. Now, $5 seems like pennies to this group here, but there's a lot of kids in Franklin County in the SAD 58 that not only is the $5 a struggle every week, but the clothing. So what we have with the Norton Loose Fund, which you can all donate, by the way, if you want to go on our website, on the ski club website and donate to, is we give each of the 4 elementary schools in the area some money to use to defray the cost of that for some of the kids, or to buy clothing that they can share amongst themselves in their school. So anyway, that's a great program. And those of you, there's many of you in the audience that are members, but those of you who aren't, I urge you to go up to the ski club desk and look into joining the ski club and being a part of this great organization. Thanks, John.
For all you do. I mean, he's got a lot of hats to wear, and it's great. It's great what he does for us. He reminded me before we started that this was going to be the last time I got to introduce him. So, and we've got a few minutes for some questions out there, if there is anything. And if there isn't, that's fine too. Yes, sir.
When's opening day?
Actually, Crusher and I talked a little bit for a minute about the power. And this last year, what we found was we probably should have started earlier, even if it's just to make the snow, and take advantage of the lower prices. For instance, late October, early November, we could be looking at 4 or 5 cents a kilowatt versus 15, 18, 20, 25, even 50 cents. So we're going to start somewhere around the 1st of November, maybe even as early as late October, depending on how cold it is. But the idea is to try to lay down as much snow as we can. Does that mean we're going to open the first trail we get? Probably not. But you know, normally we open that Friday before Thanksgiving. I don't want to promise anything right now, but I think there's a good chance that we could get open at least a week before that. We'll just see how the weather goes. But the idea here would be to try to take advantage of these low rates and get as much snow down with these new guns as we can. Because that's the other great thing about these guns. They make snow at very high temperatures, which we didn't have in the past. But is that okay? Is that a good enough answer?
I'll have to change my counts.
Yes, sir.
I'm one of the owners that lives sort of below the line, below the road here. And once the lifts fire up, it's great in terms of getting up. But I think that a lot of people would only use the shuttle when the access lifts aren't running, can't use it because it's not running. So it always seems like just when I would use it, you know, I'm paying for it all year, the only time I'd use it is when Snubber's not running. And it's not running at the beginning of the year, and it's not running at the end of the year. And it just seems to me that the cost of just having one shuttle on call, you know, would save a lot of people from driving up or hiking up. And I just wonder why it gets cut off, you know, starts so late and gets cut off so early.
Is anyone here that could answer the schedule? Crusher, I don't know if you, can you answer that?
Well, it's all about money.
It usually is.
It's all about money, and you know, we work with the town and Western Maine, and you know, we try and scale it up. We used to run a little sooner in the year, and we really watched it with like I'll mention Jay at the bag really watched the use up there in the village and stuff. And you know, we'd have 2 buses sitting in the parking lot in the evening, so we cut it back last year. It's all about cost. We're trying to keep the service affordable so the owner's rates don't go up as well.
Are you specifically thinking about the weekends, those earlier weekends? Is that what you're?
Earlier weekends and late weekends, you know, like in March, you know, hiking all the way up to the parking lot because nothing was running. You know, or the early weekends, like, but you know, snubber usually will fire up like first week in December, something like that. You know, it depends on the snowfall usually.
Right.
But so if you're up here for Thanksgiving, or you know, if it's open in mid-November, early December, it's not right.
Well, it's full service from, you know, we have partial service, we start Thanksgiving, and then just before Christmas it goes to full schedule, and then we run full schedule until reggae. That's when we cut it back, so.
We'll take a look at it. I hear you. Yes, ma'am.
Since we have the guns that will fire up at higher temperatures, wouldn't it be easier if we don't have bus service to at least allow getting on and off of snubber and take the snubber up after reggae, but to get the rest of the ski season?
I think, if I understand you right, you're asking why wouldn't we prioritize us being able to ski under snubber versus what I'd call more of a ski trail? I think that's pretty much it. It's a priority. Do we want to spend? Do we want to get as many of the ski trails open versus really the access trails open? What's the most important? And that's why we normally go for the more popular trails that people really want to ski. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to go back to the shuttle issue and mention that West Mountain has the same problem with the early and the late season, as well as last year they changed the evening operation so that it was no longer on call. And to get from the base lodge back to a West Mountain house could take about 45 minutes, which I thought was a little excessive. So if there's a way to check into the schedule for the West Mountain, I would appreciate that.
Okay. You know, I'm going to just throw out a couple of numbers here, and I'm not sure that I'm that close, but essentially this whole Western Mountain Shuttle system, I believe it's somewhere around $400,000 a year. We get about 200 of that from state funding. The town puts so much in, Sugarloaf puts so much in, and all of you folks collectively put some in. And what we've got right now, what you get right now is really what you're paying for. I mean, if we can add some more services, we can add length, but somewhere along the way we're going to have to find some more money to do it, quite frankly.
And we wouldn't mind paying an extra, you know, a bit of money, because we've been paying $40. $50's not that much.
Yep.
So we wouldn't mind that.
Well, we'll take a look at it. I mean, it's you know, I hear you, but what a great service. When you think about where we were before we had it, it's, you know, it's a big tribute to Dave Coda and the town. He's the guy that went out there and put this thing together and really got the state funding and so forth. It's, I mean, it's been huge for us. I don't know of anyone else, at least in the East Coast, that's got anything like this. So, yes, sir.
A few years back, you talked to us about a new lift going in to replace King Pine, a little lower down the valley. Is there any thoughts on that?
Yes, we did talk about that, and it's still on the 2020 plan. It's probably the next lift to come in. When's it going to come? I'm not sure. The idea there was to take that lift right now that's diagonal across the trail and take the base of it and move it over to the woods so that the whole lift is going right at the edge of the trail rather than across it. Makes it much easier to make snow, and it'll be a lot less wind prone. When is it going to happen? I'm not sure. We're in the process right now. I'm not going to be able to speak very intelligently about this, but I'll try. CNL, which actually owns Sugarloaf along with Sunday River and Loon and several of the other Boeing leased resorts, is a REIT. It's a real estate trust. And every so many years, because of the way taxation and whatever works, they have to sell their whole resume. So right now, all the ski areas that they have, as well as I think marinas and maybe even some healthcare centers around the country, are all up for sale. And I think until they get this done, we're not going to know just when the next big fund, like a $3 million lift, is going to happen. We're in hopes that the sale is going to happen sometime in the next 6 months. It's out there now. It's out there in the public for sale. Some pretty big equity players are looking at it, but you know, that's all I know at this point. But I think until we get that nailed down, big projects like lifts are going to be on hold. And hopefully we'll get it, you know, we'll get it nailed down before next summer. Yes, sir.
When are you going to fix the potholes on the road to Snowbrook?
Potholes on the road to Snowbrook. You mean our side of the road or your side of the road?
Your side of the road.
Didn't we just pave that a couple of years ago?
John, it's the area from where you just paved up about to the first bus stop, not on the Snowbrook property. The first area there went down in the spring.
I guess I wasn't aware of that. I haven't driven in there lately. I mean, we have two funds. Obviously, you all pay into the road fund. About half of that money goes to basically all the ditch work we do in the summer. We've got basically a crew full-time from spring right through the summer that does a lot of ditching. And the other half of that goes to paving. And the paving is the access road, Mountainside Road and West Mountain. Those are roughly 5 miles of paved roads. We're in pretty good shape right now, and we've been really just patching the last couple of years. We are in pretty good shape. Something like that, if that's our road, that's our nickel. It doesn't come out of this fund. This fund is only good for those 3 roads, which accumulate to, say, 5 miles. But we'll take a look at it. We've got, we're going to pave the loop thing that I talked about earlier. We're going to pave that in a couple of weeks when we get it done. So, you know, the paving guys are going to be back up here. If it's our road and it needs some work, we'll certainly take a look at it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we've heard about programs for kids and things of that sort. How about a program for us 70 and over, which would be bathroom facilities up above the top of it? You've got a lot more ski areas open to the east.
Yeah.
And you can recover those people from Sluice and over that way. It would be a lot more convenient.
I guess we better get the ski school guys working on that one.
Yeah. But we've heard about this before, and
you mean a senior ski school?
No, not a senior ski school.
Bathrooms.
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 Oh, bathrooms.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
You see, I'm not hearing that well. All right, yeah, we have talked about that. You're talking about over on the east side. And really, we looked at it again this year. You know, it's a $100,000 plus kind of thing to do because of probably got to pipe it all the way down to the bottom, which is over a mile of pipe. And we really, we know it needs to be done, but if we're going to put a base, some kind of a, you know, a Bullwinkle kind of thing over there at some point, that's when we should be doing it. We shouldn't be trying to do it 2 different places. And we don't have that nailed down yet. But no, it's on our radar screen. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Yes, sir.
How near complete is the Bracket Burnt project?
85, 90.
85 to 90%. I mean, I think the next big move, and it's down the road, but certainly possibilities of some kind of a lift over there at some point. Might be a T-bar or a Poma or something, who knows, but that would be probably the end piece.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You might want to speak to DOT about the entrance road because traffic coming from the left is almost invisible with the bridge railings. And it's not a very good setup. And I know they did the bridge quickly because it washed out. But you've really got to watch that because people coming from your left when you're leaving are almost invisible until they're right on top of you.
You're talking about probably the size of the bridge.
Right out of where you join 27.
Yeah. Is that it? All right. Oh, right. Yes, sir.
Any chance that Bucksaw, the base of Bucksaw,
Yeah, and I think it will be, and I think it's going to be fairly soon, but it'll also probably move uphill 50 to 80 feet. The whole idea there is to eventually be able to bring a road from Timbers all the way across there and connect with what we're calling Main Street now, because it's got a lot of real estate value. But we can't run that road right now because that terminal is right in the way of it. So that terminal, in order to make this work, needs to go uphill about 50 feet. So, all right, I think we're pretty much out of time. Thank you all for coming. See you up on the hill.